This is Country Living, Oregon Style 61, and I am going to show you how I was taught. It's not all the ways you can make it, but the way I was taught how to make Indian fry bread. Different tribes have got different ways of making it. This is the way I was taught how to make it. In here, and I usually don't measure anything, but for you guys I did, and I'm guessing that this is going to turn out right, because it's all in the texture and all in the taste. So I will taste test it as I go along. But right now I've got 4 cups of flour in here. And in this you put 2 teaspoons of baking powder in it. A teaspoon of salt. I usually don't measure anything when I make this, so this is kind of different for me to make, to show you guys how to do it. And then all you do is start adding water. I'm going to get a spoon out for starters. Then I usually work it with my hand, and that's how I can tell on the texture. So you kind of mix that around and just keep adding water until you make a dough like you would a bread dough. I just used a cup deal. I don't know how much I'm going to have. Probably a lot more, but like I say, there's different ways. There's different ways to make it. Each tribe's got their own recipe. Some of them are pretty close to the same, but it just depends on where you're from or how they make it. Now tonight we're going to have Indian tacos, which is, all you're doing is making the Indian fry bread, and then what you do is you put your stuff on it like you would a taco. I'm not going to show that part, but I will show you what else you can do with them, or at least one way of fixing them. Now I'm going to get rid of my spoon because I don't want it to be tough. So I do use my hand. I got my deep fryer warming up. It should be pretty close. It might be a little sticky. I might have to get some more flour out. Like I say, I don't measure this ordinarily in it. Yeah, I might have to get a little bit more flour out. But anyway, when you make these up, you can, the traditional way is eating it with just, plain. Or you can use, you can use it to eat beans with or whatever. You can put sugar, cinnamon sugar on it, and make it kind of like what I guess some people call nowadays, like a elephant ear. Let me wash off my hands. I gotta add a little more flour. You can put butter with honey on it. You can put just straight honey on it. You can put jellies with or without butter. You can do, if you make them thick enough, which I'm not doing tonight, you can also slice it around and make like a bun out of it. Let's see, what else can you make out of it? You can freeze these up to about a month. Because of the oil in them, they will go rancid. So, but you can freeze them up to about a month. So if you make too many and you get tired of them, put them in a Ziploc, put them in the freezer, and be done with it. Let me get some more flour. I'll be right back. Okay, I sprinkled a little more in there. We'll see what happens. I'm not going to use the whole amount. I don't think I brought a cup over, but I don't think that's going to be what I actually need. I just need enough to get them to where they aren't real sticky. The more you work this, the tougher it'll get, though. So you try to get it as right the first time. Now I don't know whether my deep fryer's heated up yet or not. I may have to wait a few minutes. But anyway, if you ever go to an Indian powwow, there's always a stand, Indian tacos, Indian fry bread. and you can do it either way. They'll fix them for you. But like I say, their recipe may be a little bit different than mine, but this is the way I was taught years and years and years ago. So this is what I use. Anyway, let me taste it. Yep, tastes good. Okay. Now I'm just waiting. I'm sorry I'm in your way, but to be able to video and to be able to wash my hands is kind of a... I have to be in the way. Sorry. But Jim's going to taste for us tonight when he gets back from feeding. He is going to taste the cinnamon sugar one. I don't think he's done this sugar cinnamon one before. But I'll show you how to make them. Now this is the mixed up stuff. Now nothing's done by machine or anything like that. It's all done by hand. And I don't know. Let's kick it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna shut you off till my deep fryer gets ready. Okay, I'm back. Now to eat these properly, you don't use any silverware with them, but sometimes silverware works good. You after they're fried, you put, if you're making an Indian taco, put all your stuff out because they are messy, very messy. You just put a fork in it and kind of tear it off with your fingers and eat it. But it is messy that way. So let's see what we got. I might still have to add a little bit of flour to my hand. Okay. And what you do is, if there's a little sticky, just add a little flour while you're working it. But you make it into a flat thing and you pull it. And you pull it. And you pull it. And you pull it. And sometimes it depends on how much you get out in a ball. How big they'll be. But it's all done by hand. Kind of like the old-fashioned tortillas are. And when they get down thin enough, take your finger and you punch a hole in it. Right up through the middle. See? I don't know whether you can see that or not. So there's where the hole is. Then what you do is you put it, be very careful, put it in your deep fryer. If you don't have a deep fryer, you can put it in just a regular fry pan on the stove, or if you're out camping or whatever on the wood, fire, and you can fry it there. It's no biggie. I'm gonna add just a little bit because it's still a little bit sticky. Come on, get up out of there. Might not be quite hot enough. The first couple of ones don't really, to me, doesn't brown, especially if you're using new oil. It doesn't brown like it should, just like anything else. There we go, it's floating now. And you just let it fry until it gets brown. You can get it as brown as you want. It's still a little sticky. And that's why I said taste test. And the feel of it is what I go by. And I just kind of pinch off a little bit, and it's still a little sticky. You don't want to stick to your hands while you're working it. So, you just keep going around in circles, pulling it out. Going around in circles, pulling it out. It will not come out round. Don't even think you're going to get that because it isn't going to happen. But we're making Indian tacos tonight, so, like I say, it really doesn't matter what you put on it. You can put refried beans on it. You can do whatever you want. Now I'm going to lay that there. Wash my hands a little bit. Flop this over. But this is how it fries up. Now, I don't know whether you can see it or not. Let me see what I can do with my video. Okay, hang on. Let's see. it looks like this. It's a flatbread. I always, before I ever had a deep fryer, I always used a fry pan, put a bunch of oil in it, and put it on the stove and cooked it. But I got a deep fryer now, so that's what I use. And I did not make these thick enough to be able to make the hamburger buns out of it, or like a bun that you can make a sandwich out of. And then you want to have a pan ready that has paper towel in it to catch the grease. Like I say, the first one never comes out as it's done, but it never comes out as quite as brown as the others. Let's see what I got on the second one. And sometimes you have to help it up off the bottom, but it kind of sticks to the bottom. You want it to float. But they're really good with just butter on them too. And they will fill you up. You know, if you think you could eat 3 or 4 regular tacos, you might eat one of these, 1.5 of them. Because they are, you know, they do fill you up. I'm going to shut this off for a minute and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I put a little bit of butter on this piece of fry bread. And let me see if I can zoom in to get a picture of it. Then I put, there you go, cinnamon and sugar on it. And now I can go back out. Jim's going to taste test it. Just, yeah. There's no, oh, I don't know what's going on there. I've got some shakiness in my picture. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, there's no rhyme or reason how you do it, except it is messy no matter how you eat it. So you have to have a paper towel. But anyway, see if I can bring it up a little ways there. I'm not going to get Jim all the way in the video, but at least he's taste testing it. Is it, what, do you like it that way? I know you've only had it as a taco, have you? Do you like it that way?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so there's a taste test. I guess we got a thumbs up. I'm not real sure. He didn't say. Oh, he said thumbs up. I think he's more into eating the fried bread. So I will get back to making it some more, and then you have a good night, I guess. And thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.